How's it going, Shaq?
Not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's cold.
Yeah, we had that pivot here pretty aggressively this last like week or so.
Yeah. So it's cold, and I have to take an AC unit out of a window,
Ooh.
um, and then put it somewhere, and so that my room won't be drafty. Uh, and so that's kind of where my brain is right now. Where am I going to put this window unit when it's not in the window?
Where does it normally go?
That's a good question. I this is a new unit for me. My previous one was a real dinosaur, and
Okay.
it was so big that the only place I could keep it was in my roommate's closet. Because he isn't a slave to fashion like I am. Well, he is, but he hangs and things are he just has the room.
Okay.
So um, but I let that one go, and then bought a new one, and this one, is a little bit smaller, and
Okay.
I can't justify putting it in his closet. Also, it's a lot like his, so, um, when it comes time to pull him out, I don't want him to then take mine, which is
Okay.
the newer version, and then give me his, and we don't can't tell the difference, you know. Not that I think he's a sneaky person. He's not a sneaky person, but he's
You
also not the
tag it.
most yeah, he's also not the most observant. So all he would know is, well, mine's a Frigidaire, and so is this one. So this one must be mine. And
Hey man, that's the tax that you pay when you put it in someone's closet. I think
right. So
you know.
I'm trying to find uh, uh, another place for it. Like maybe my closet. Certainly, there are things in my closet that I don't need, but they're not in the place that I would put a window unit. You know what I mean? Like I can't hang it from a hanger because I got rid of a couple of dresses. So I'm just trying to figure this out.
I'm
Really,
rooting for you.
yeah. It's the normal dance that everybody around this time of year in a city that doesn't believe in central AC or tearing down old buildings and building new ones. It's a dance that you do every year. Or do I take out the window unit or not?
Yeah, my dad used to hate me for that because he pays obviously the bills, and I would leave my air conditioner on like to the day that he took it down. So like
Hmm.
he would be like, "You make me take this shit down in September because like it's already too cold for air conditioning, but I don't got time to take this thing down. But you over here blasting it at 60 every day." So he would like forcibly like take it down like October 1st.
Right.
Um and yeah, now I got central AC. Um but my machine broke like a week and a half ago, and I'm just chalking that up to the game. Like I know I gotta fix it, but I figured it's wintertime. So I got like a 6 month delay on that bill, you know? So I'm just leaving
Oh
it like
wow,
that.
your AC unit broke. Oh
Yeah,
no.
it's a central unit, but it's been like 11, 12 years, you know?
Oh
So like that's a good run. Like something's wrong with it. I don't know what it is, and I'll find out sometime in like April. Uh but
no.
right now,
Yeah, I was going to say you'll need to get to it before then, but I forget that now with climate change, true winter doesn't start until like February, March.
yeah.
So you may actually regret it not working in like a month. I bet it's going to be a hot Christmas. I bet it's going to be a hot Christmas. Um
Oh man.
that's
What
just that seems to be how it goes.
I'm noticing too, like so when I bought the house, I was one of my first friends to buy a crib.
Mhm.
Again, I had some like advantages. My parents helped me out a ton. Um, but I was definitely one of the first of my friends to buy a crib, and I wasn't doing well economically. Just I was doing better than some of my peers, but I wasn't doing great either. Like I was getting by.
Mhm.
And because I had this additional space, a lot of my friends, because of seasonal stuff or like life, would hit me
Mhm.
up to be like, "Hey, can you store this?"
Oh,
Like
yes,
I
right.
stored a lot of stuff over the years. Like, you know, that's why when you say like the AC thing, I'm like, oh, I've been in these convos, you know, like, and the range of shit that people like hit you up for, and the whys are crazy. Like, uh, someone asked to keep a spare car. I don't know how that came up. They're like, yo, you got room in your backyard for like a car for like 3 to 4 months. Like, I don't know what life you think I'm living, but that don't work. Like, my yard ain't that big. Then
That's hmm.
but yeah, the thing that I kept the longest, my brother-in-law George,
Mhm.
he when he got married, we went to Jersey for his wedding and bought a bunch of liquor. You know, it was cheaper in Jersey. I don't know if I think it's illegal technically to say this, so my bad. But we dodged the sales tax and went to like a BJ's Jersey and
Sure.
like bought mad. I think that's fine to do. I don't know
I mean,
if it's a crime. I'm sorry.
you're an American. It's perfectly fine. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like you were bringing it back over to sell. I think that's where
Right.
the
Yeah. I think
problem
we're
is.
good. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
It's like with cigarettes.
Yeah. If you smoking all
Oh,
30,000 packs, that's you,
yeah,
baby.
that's you, right?
You know, go to a doctor, but make it happen, baby. But yeah, like we bought liquor for his wedding so he could save some money. So we went
Mhm.
to the BJ's in Jersey, and like we overdid it on like certain liquors because we've never catered a wedding before, you know. So, so at the end of the party, he's like, "Yo, I don't got space for all this in my apartment, you know. So he's like, you mind storing it in your place?" And I had legit maybe like 50 bottles of liquor in my basement for this dude for like a year
Mhm.
and a half. Like Kettle One vodka, a bunch of
Mhm.
like Hennessy and all this other stuff in my basement. So like after a year, I hit him up. I was like, yo, like, what's the plan here, brother? And you know, he just bought a house, but his house was smaller than my house, and he had more people going into a smaller house. So I
Mhm.
still felt grimy saying you gotta take your shit.
Right.
So I was like, yo, listen, every event that I go to,
Mhm.
you are a part of in like a way. Cause you my brother-in-law, you know? And you my man. So this is the dude that I met Gabby through. This is my best friend growing up.
Mhm.
So I was like, just know that going forward, I'm using a bottle every time there's a function until either you take them or they're gone. You know,
Mhm.
I'm bringing one of your bottles, and they're gone now. Like that's just what happened. They slowly became the bottles of the parties. You know, and
Mhm.
he was like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, like I'm just he felt good because he was like catering more parties in a weird way,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
I felt good because I slowly got my basement back. Uh,
Here's my question is, uh how much Hennessy did you buy for a wedding?
it was a lot.
What kind of wedding were you planning on throwing for your friend that
It,
you
it
needed that much Hennessy?
we didn't plan it well. We didn't plan it out well. We had way too much Hennessy, and Kettle One was a big thing because he was like, my girl likes Kettle One. I was like, I understand, but like I know I didn't know, I've never heard of this brand before. The fact that you told me I should get some, and
Uh-huh.
I overdid it on that. So we had like, I would say like 20 of the 50 bottles with Kettle One that was left over. I had like 10 Hennessy's left over. I had like 2 champagne bottles.
Mhm.
There was a ton of wine, but that went by right away because like Gabby had like 3 girls nights, and that
Yeah,
just
yeah,
that
that's
that
not
I was
that's
gone.
I mean, yeah,
That was no problem.
10 bottles of wine is a week. I don't
Yeah,
know if you know
exactly.
that.
Wine. I thought the wine was gonna be a problem because I don't drink it. That
Mm-mm.
that was going easy.
No,
But like,
you don't really drink wine?
nah, not I didn't until like 2, 3 years ago when I went to like vineyards.
Mhm.
I've never seen it like consumed. So like I didn't understand how fast of a thing it was, you know? It's something it never registered to me, like because I just associate it as another liquor thing that like people buy at the store. And I know
Yeah,
when I buy liquor, you drink 2 or 3 shots, you get nice, like
right.
you are good.
But
So
you never really looked at a wine glass, which have
yeah,
been
I never
getting
seen.
larger over the years.
Yeah, I didn't that didn't register to me that like the same 3 servings is the whole glass in wine.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
it's
so
And that
Yeah,
it
that
sneaks
that
up
went by
on you.
quick. Gabby had like 3 like girls' nights and them joints was gone. But these Henny joints, it was serious. The Kettle Ones, crazy. And like I started just gifting them for like stupid reasons.
Sure.
Uh the dude next door, like he rings my bell when UPS or FedEx just leaves my packages at the door. He did it like
Okay.
3 times one week, and I was like, "Yo, here, my G, Kettle One on the house." And he was like, "Yo," and he was like, "Yo, it's May. Like, the fuck is this for?" You know?
What? May? That's fine. Who drinks seasonally?
I
That's
don't know. He
vodka. You can drink that's all year round. Vodka
that's
is a clear it's like water. It's all year
yo,
round. You
that
can
shit
drink
was
that.
beautiful.
That's
But
so
yeah,
funny.
it. But yeah, like I get the finding storage thing because like I've seen how much of a stress it is to friends of mine who haven't had that, and I've never experienced it because I've always lived in a house that either I owned or my parents owned. Like we always
Yeah.
had extra space.
Yeah, I mean, and also, the apartments in New York are small and weirdly spaced, and
Hmm.
closet spaces at a premium. And I'm lucky enough that I'm in an apartment that was for sure built in like maybe the early aughts or something like that, late
Okay.
90s, early aughts. So it looks like when you come in, it looks spacious. It's really
Yeah.
just one big room with a kitchen, but it doesn't have like the weird, it's built not, it's a new enough building. So it's not one where the living room is also the long part of the apartment that runs parallel to the hallway of the building. So
Yeah.
you only have room for like a TV that has to be mounted on a wall and a very long skinny couch and
Hmm.
nothing else, and no shoot, you can't walk through, like if anyone else wants that, you got to wait to the side to have someone pass through. It's a really weird setup. Or other apartments where the kitchen is literally just a corner of a room,
Hell
where the
yeah.
sink is right in the corner and then the stove is there, the oven's there and the fridge is next to it. And then it's like, you get it. And I'm like, where? I don't, huh? And it's a literal kitchen. So it's kind of spacious. And I'm lucky enough to have one bedroom has a regular, like long ways with the sliding doors closet, and
Okay.
one has a walk in closet. And my room is the one with the walk in closet. So, which is what I was raised on a walk in closet. I've adjusted to old, weird, smaller closets, but I was thrilled to get this one, and I am using it to within an inch of its life, which means that's why I don't have room for the AC unit. I can make it. I'm gonna figure it out tonight, because I guess I'm gonna take it out of my window tonight. But what I've done in the meantime is I just got thicker curtains to hang in front of it so that the wind doesn't, cut through my ankles while I'm sleeping.
Yo, real talk. I'm sure there's some like weird like art shop in Brooklyn that'll show you how to make it a nightstand. They'll be like, yo,
Yeah, I'm
it's
sure
like
there is.
artistic or some shit.
I don't have it in me. Those are for young people who want to mess with power tools and stuff. And who knows, maybe I'll tell my roommate to figure it out. He's going through a
Yeah.
woodworking phase, but not me. I want the AC away from me until I want it in the window, cuz I don't even use it that much. It's necessary sometimes, but I don't like being cold, and I'm always cold. So, I thought I would actually keep it in the window all year, because I've been entering what I've heard called my personal summers, which is what I call hot flashes. My personal summers. So I thought, well, maybe I just have to have this blow all year round, but I don't. I got a small fan that blows directly on my neck, which is where my summers happen. And I'm like, great, I can take this thing out of the window. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Everything, living in New York is just a lot of Tetris. Your life is Tetris. If you have things, it's just a matter of making them fit in certain ways and twisting things around. So, it's a fun way to get your brain working
Hell yeah.
for
You gotta
a
make it
little
fit,
bit.
baby.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. Or, maybe that's just where the cat sleeps now.
I'm rooting for you. We doing it right now too, because Gabby has to migrate all her plants in.
Oh,
you know?
boy. I didn't even
Yeah,
think
she
about that.
she
Yeah.
got 110 plants and like 80 of them live outside. And now she got to go through the plants and basically like Schindler's list of plants. Like she got to look at which plants are going to survive and bring them inside. She like
That
some of
is
y'all ain't gonna make it, you know. And then she
does
just
she
thinks about those plants the whole winter. Like, man, I should have brought that one in, you
oh,
know.
does she have plastic sheeting to put over them?
I don't. She got like some system. Like she has like a couple of like greenhouses for like
Okay.
the ones that she thinks can survive, but we
Okay.
can't fit
But
inside.
still right, right,
You
right.
know, and but the batting average goes down regardless. You know, like you
Sure.
bring them inside, like 80%, 90% of those plants make it. But outdoors, like you talking about like 50-50, even if you kind of take care of them, just because it's still a
Yeah.
New York winter.
But I
You know,
mean, yeah, but they're plants. I mean, they'll die, but something will sprout. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Right? I think I don't know. I can't keep anything alive, so don't ask me. But I mean, she could also, if she wanted to, I'm sure she already knows this, but I feel like you can put like sheets of plastic over it and just put, to especially for like sudden storms or
Yeah.
anything like that, just to kind of help a little bit, which is like a greenhouse, but closer to the plant. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I know that's what I've seen people do.
Hey, I'll mention it. I don't understand how it works. She gets very excited and explains plants to me once a week, and it is not registered once. I smile a lot. I said, "That's great, honey." But I can't get it. I've been focusing so hard every time she talks about it, but for the life of me, I do not understand what the joy is. I don't understand why she's none of it makes sense. It's been 2 years of this shot. I swear I've been trying, like sincerely, as a loving partner. I wanna understand what moves her with this. And I cannot, but
There's
if it
not
makes her
one
happy.
plant that you're like attached to. Do they have names? First of all, do they have names?
I would say like about a quarter of them do. Yeah. Like there's
Okay.
like major plants that she's like, yeah, this is such and such. And I
Okay.
don't know
And
those names either.
you
Um
gotta learn the names. They're like your stepchildren. Okay.
uh,
And did she talks to them?
yeah, but in private. Like she goes out and does that. I'm not a part of that now.
You know, you could go out and hear the kind of conversations or ask her, what did you and the plants talk about today? Just take like you gotta take more of an interest.
I tried. I tried,
and
chat.
and then talk to them yourself, but nothing toxic because they can pick up on that and they'll die.
Yeah, I
So
think that was the issue. Like when she went to visit her brother with the kids, the first time they went away after the plants arrived.
mhm.
Like she asked me what did I do with the plants. I was like, I watered them and then I lived, like I don't know what you wanted me to do. She's supposed to talk with them every day. I was like, I was listening to rap music every day,
Oh
as loud as possible.
no. Oh
You were not
no.
here. I haven't heard rap music at full volume in years, So yeah, I played extremely like violent gangster rap music as loud as possible, and they lived that with me. Like we thugged it out together. Um,
Yeah, but she could tell.
but yeah, she knew. She was like, nah, they look stressed. I was like, I was like, I don't need to talk. Like why does Griselda stress these plants out, honey? I don't
Well, I
understand that.
mean, to be fair, Griselda stresses out a lot of people and animals probably. I think that's part of their appeal.
Hey, it
That's they're
happens.
you don't put them in the easy listening section.
That's fair.
It's
That's fair.
it's stressful.
So yeah, I'm gonna mix in like some Quell Chris. Just try to mix it
Okay.
up next time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try my best next time she's out and see if the plants and I could agree on a playlist. But yeah,
Okay.
I can't. I tried the talking thing. I felt silly as shit. I can't do this. I just watered them and go about my business.
There is an old album, I can't remember what year, late 60s, early 70s. It's probably early 70s. It's very like a synthesizer sounding kind of music called
Okay.
Music for Plants, and it's on Spotify. I've listened to it to help me go to sleep. And just play that for him and see how. It's also, I think you can find it on YouTube. Um,
Okay.
I don't even know how I stumbled upon it on Spotify, and I started listening, and then I went on a trip to Atlanta, and I went to visit my best friend, and we hadn't spoken in a while. I certainly hadn't told anyone I was listening to Music for Plants. And I walk in her house. How about this bitch got Music for Plants on YouTube playing for the plants in her house? And I was like, see, that's why we mess with each other,
That's
because
what
we
it
both
is.
had, yeah. But anywho, try it. Uh, um, maybe I'll send you a link to it, and also to our troops and correspondents. If you have any suggestions as to what else to play for these plants outside of anyone from Buffalo who raps,
They've heard all of that already. It
they've
didn't
heard
work.
all of that. I feel like anything less stressful than Griselda, which the name alone is stressful.
So
Something.
far, I played Quell Chris, and I played this lo-fi producer, Stolen Drums. Those are the only
Mhm.
two that like Gabby was like, okay, this could work. So I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm looking for stuff that I feel okay listening to, but won't stress the plants.
Yeah,
You know,
that's all. They're
that's it.
delicate creatures.
Happy mediums, baby. She's nervous because I know they coming inside, and I'm gonna be along with the plants writing jokes, and she knows it's gonna be my time, and
Right.
they ain't ready for that.
So please, everyone, give us suggestions. This time is of the essence here. We got some deadlines here. So
Oh man, let's get into the news.
okay.
Twitter pauses its paid verifications after users abuse the service to impersonate brands and people. That's right. Twitter appears to have paused the $7.99 a month Blue subscription service, which allowed people to pay for a verification check mark after users were abusing it to impersonate brands and famous people. Twitter launched the service earlier last week in its iPhone app, allowing users to buy a check mark that had previously been used to show that an account was verified or official. As of Friday, the iPhone app no longer shows the option to sign up for Twitter Blue. The quick suspension of the service suggests that, at least currently, CEO Elon Musk's big plan to generate new revenue from users isn't working as expected. The paid subscription service led to a plethora of pranksters creating imposter accounts on Twitter. It left the platform even more ripe for misinformation, and many cheaply acquired check marks were used to impersonate brands, politicians, and celebrities with unflattering messages.
Okay, wait. I gotta stop you here, because at the time that we're recording this, I mean, I think it is still suspended. So much. It is so hard to report on Twitter like a day or two after something happens, because hours. It takes hours before it's a complete sea change over there. It is truly insane. But I came across, and I'm gonna look for it on Twitter because it really cracked me up. Someone put together a list of tweets to kind of show what it looked like day to day on Twitter around the time of this Twitter Blue checkmark $8 a month fiasco.
Yeah.
Just, Elon going, this is what we're doing. And then people impersonating him, impersonating Delta, all of the various impersonations, things that messed up like the stock market and medicine and like Lockheed Martin, like so many things got fucked up. Oh my God. It's insane. And very funny. But
Yeah.
also like a shame. But I will say, at the time of this recording, at the time that we're recording this already, uh, Elon has done an ultimatum with his employees where he sent out an email and he's like, look here, what we need to do is we need to be more hardcore. What? And, and so also, we're really going to it's just going to be the engineers who run things, because at the heart, this is just a software business. So, we really just need engineers. So you need to be willing to no more working from home. You have to come in.
Yeah,
Also, for at least 40 hours a week, which means really I'm expecting more like 60. And we all need to be more hardcore. If you agree to being more hardcore, click this link and check yes. If not, if I don't hear from you by the end of business tomorrow, then I will give you 3 months severance and you're gone.
yo,
What?
this
Elon
dude
is
different.
it's wow. It's truly wild.
Yeah, how you firing people the way like you ask out a girl in fourth grade? Like,
I
yo,
know. First off, if you send me something with a weird link and you're like, go in the link and then check yes. What?
yo,
Are
that's
you serious?
bananas.
Yeah, that's not how the internet works. I don't know what you've been doing lately, sir, but um if someone sends a weird link and then check yes or no, that's
Mm-mm.
not.
Not clicking on that, baby.
Yeah, and this is what determines whether or not I work?
Mm. It feels like a test to make sure I don't click on it. Like if you click on the link, I would fire you just because you don't understand safety.
Right. Yes, right.
Nah.
Yes.
No, no, no. I'm not about that at all. I know I have while all this was happening, my flight got delayed and I didn't know who to complain to on Twitter.
Yeah, who knows who's
Like
listening?
there was like 90 Delta accounts. I didn't know who was who. Like, I was so stressed on that flight. I'm like,
Oh,
oh my God, I
no.
don't know what to do right now. I'm gonna actually have to call customer service. Uh yeah, it was a wild ride there.
That is oh my god.
It's supposed to come back to, by the way, on the 29th. They're saying Elon said that they're gonna bring back the payment plan, baby.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because people are gonna do this again. Does he think that's
Mhm.
gonna stop the people? What are you doing?
They
How?
inspired.
I mean, there were so many just so many emails and messages of him just like, "Come on, we gotta find who's doing all of this," and I'm like, okay, but
Everybody.
then on the flip side, if someone did one that he thought was funny, he'd throw up emojis like "ha ha ha," and I'm like, "Yo, you can't be the principal. You can't be the principal and the student. You gotta pick one. You can't be in charge and then laugh at the class clown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to do one or the other. So either you need to be a fucking hardcore dude, whatever that means. Because that also came up. Like, apparently, there was an all hands on deck meeting. And one of the employees asked him, "Hey, we're getting a lot of shit thrown at us. What do you say to employees who's like looking for, how do you ignite us and reunite us? And like, how do you get us going? How do we have like a same like outlook moving forward?
Yeah.
What's our how do we gather together and move forward as a group, as a company, blah blah blah." And he literally said, I don't know, I guess we need to be more hardcore. And now he's made that his mission statement:
Oh
be
my
more
God.
hardcore. And I'm like, what grade are you in?
Gotta be more hardcore, baby. You know what I mean? Have you
Yeah.
been on have you checked out the alternatives yet? I know somebody sent me a link to this thing, Mastodon.
Okay, well, here's the thing with Mastodon is it's decentralized, which
Yeah.
means there's no one server or location. So it gives you a whole bunch of servers to try and decide which one you want to join with.
Okay.
And I'm like, "Hey man, this is above my internet pay grade." I don't like I got to call. There are a couple of people I have to call first before I do this because
I
they're the
need reference.
ones.
I need
Yeah,
I need
I
help.
I need yeah, there are people I turn to for this. And I got a dude in Wyoming literally right now who I'm like, "Hey man, okay, so Twitter's imploding. Where do I go?" And the last time I talked to him, and it had been years before we talked, we had a discussion about Discord. So I figured out what it did. Like that's not why I called him, but that is what we discussed, you know?
Oh
So
man.
yeah, I mean, maybe, but if it's more of a forum than it is like this, then
Right.
that means you I feel like you have to figure out where like with Twitter, I get so much information from different factions that don't even know that the other factions exist or something. So
Yeah.
it's a nice way to get like a very broad cross section of stuff. But with that, I feel like everyone on that server is going to be like that server. And I'm like, well, that's great, but I also need something to come in to cut some of this. So it's not only all this. So does that
Right.
mean I got to join a few servers? And then my brain was like, Shalewa, you know, you don't know what you're doing, girl. If you don't call your friend, or just maybe you should just put it all down. Just can you read a book? Just read a book. What about your diary? Write your tweets in your diary. So
It's for you, baby,
yeah.
The amount of articles I read that like Mastodon was consistently listed as like
Mm-hmm.
the top Twitter replacement. But like
Right.
there'd be like 15 different ones on every one of them.
Right.
Um I would always recognize like 3 of them because they would be like things that we like no longer use. They'd be like, yo, Reddit's about to come back. Or like you've been on Tumblr lately. And I think that make you happy. I know you still got the site on there. But
I'm
like,
okay with but Tumblr is a different beast. They're
yeah.
not what Twitter is. That's the thing.
Well, I posted 2 times on Reddit just in case. Start
Mm,
getting the rust off, you know.
yeah.
But
Did you
yeah,
mess with Reddit before?
you barely like I've always read it,
Mhm.
not pun intended in that, but I've never like actively posted until this year. But
Mm.
I've been trying to get into it more because I feel like I'm gonna lose Twitter. And I wanted
Yeah.
another thing that was like a source of mad info that
Mhm.
people talk on.
Yeah. I mean, Reddit might be the closest to that, but it's still a little I don't know. It's still a little mean. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know. It might not be as mean. Maybe all those subreddits have been maybe they all went to 4chan and 8chan and 12chan and 16chan, however many chans we're on right now, 64chan. But and that I even know that there are chans, multiple chans is because of my friend who I need to call.
And put me in on those calls. I
I
don't even know
know.
Discord yet either.
But yeah, so I mean, I have a Reddit account and I mean like the last time I really looked at it was the Fry Festival.
Okay.
Remember? Or the Fire Festival when that like was falling apart
Yeah.
and people were landing on that island and they were like there's nothing here. That happened like in the middle of the night here and I just happened to be up because it was at a time when I was never sleeping. And
Right.
and I was like, what's going on? And they were tweeting about it, but I saw someone say something that they saw on Reddit. And I'm like, well, let me see if I remember this password. And I did. And I watched it happen on Twitter and Reddit. And I mean, it was very informative, right? But I mean, it's going to be a shame to. I know we spent so much time talking about it. And I'm sure people listening are like, so what? But I swear, so like Twitter has really like galvanized movements. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I truly believe we would not have known about like the Mike Brown murder if it wasn't for Twitter,
Right, right.
right? Everything in Ferguson, just Black Lives Matter, all of that, just like George Floyd, everything that galvanized movements, and unfortunately, like white supremacist movements as well. Like so many things have been galvanized by Twitter, and it's just like it'll kind of be a shame to lose that, but I guess we're on to whatever the new version of that is, whatever that shows itself to be. But I don't know if I've seen much on in the time of Facebook. Well, maybe no, maybe Facebook had that power back in the day, and it's hard to remember back then that it did have that power.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Listen, this wasn't even an article. We just need your help. If you know where we're going,
If you know where we going,
let us
please
know.
let us know.
We gonna be the last ones there. We trying to get a
Yeah.
little lead there, but
You
yeah,
know,
keep us on the know.
fashionably late. Fashionably late.
In other news, a woman claimed $100,000 in the lottery. Then on her way home, she won 300,000 more. That's right. The only thing better than winning the lottery is claiming 2 lottery prizes in one day. A Delaware woman was in for a once-in-a-lifetime surprise after she claimed 2 six-figure lottery prizes in one day. The anonymous 70-year-old winner was thrilled after she won a $100,000 prize for an instant game ticket she purchased in Newark, Delaware. About a week after realizing she had won the prize, she headed to the lottery's headquarters to pick up her winnings. The prize was the largest she had won since she began playing the lottery 7 years ago, according to the news. On her way home from picking up her winnings, she decided to try her luck again and purchased 3 serious money tickets at the convenience store. That was not my description. That is the name of the tickets, I believe. One of the tickets, one of the tickets was $300,000 top winner. The woman described claiming 2 six-figure tickets in one day as absolute insanity. My best friend was the first person I told about winning the $100,000 top prize, and she came with me to claim it. When I scratched the $300,000 serious money ticket later that day, we just sat there in disbelief. The woman returned to the lottery headquarters to pick up the $300,000 prize. She plans to use most of the winnings for her retirement fund. Good girl. The chances of winning the $100,000 instant game prize are just 1 in 120,000. And the chances of winning the $300,000 serious money prize are 1 in 150,000.
And she's the one. She's about to get hit by lightning. This woman is the one. This is Neo in the Matrix. How you do that? Also, I love that she was on her way home, was like, let's just try it again. Won, and then was like, turn this shit around. And just imagine like going through that whole thing. You sign the papers, you clean it up, you ready to go home. You cleaning up the office. And this woman's at your door again, just like, guess what?
Run that back, baby.
Run that back. Times 3. They got to do all that again times 3. Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Yo, just keep me on the schedule. I'll be back next week, homie.
Right? You know exactly.
That's got to be bad at that point. Like, there comes a point where, like, if you get too much good, it spoils you, you know? Like, if she wins one more time, she might just think this is a legitimate investment strategy, you know?
She's been playing the lottery for 7 years. She already thinks it's a legitimate investment strategy.
She's up. I promise you.
Yeah, she's up.
She's up.
So
and she's 70, so she could play to the rest of her days and still be up. There ain't many left.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I mean? So she good money right now.
Yeah.
She in the green for life. That's
well,
freaking
you know
awesome.
what? We don't know what the previous 69 years were like. So maybe this is just like, here you go. You know what? On second thought, here's another one. So we don't know. It may have been a rough go for her.
Yo, enjoy them blessings, lady. That is beautiful, sincerely. You know what I mean? I would tell you to be like, be responsible, but you won twice, okay? That first time, buy a fucking caddy. Like, go crazy. You know what I mean? Do something absolutely irresponsible with the first 100. Be responsible with the 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have told you not to buy lottery tickets because I don't, you know, like, be responsible. Don't waste it on the lottery. But clearly you have the touch. So
sincerely, if I don't see a granny out there with gold fronts in Delaware, I'm disappointed. Okay. I
feel like there are a lot of grannies with gold fronts in Delaware. What I want to do is I want to mail this woman like a $5 bill. Just have it ride with her in her purse, and then send it back to me so that I can use it to buy a lottery ticket. Because I feel like there's something in the oils of her fingers or something that's making this win.
Sisterhood of the Traveling 5.
Right? Yes.
That's what it is. Let's do that right there. You can fund the whole podcast right there. Boom.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this.
Old lady.
In other news, Palmer Lucky made a VR headset that kills the user if they die in the game. That's right.
What?
Uh, Palmer Lucky, a defense contractor and the father of the modern virtual reality, has created a VR headset that will kill the user if they die in the game they're playing. He did this to commemorate the anime Sword Art Online. Luque is the founder of Oculus, a company he sold to Facebook in 2014 for $2 billion. This is the technology that Mark Zuckerberg rebranded as the foundation for Meta. Luque's killer headset looks like a Meta Quest Pro hooked up with 3 explosive charge modules that sit above the screen.
That
The
means
charges are
nothing.
aimed directly at the user's forebrain, and should they go off, would obliterate the head of the user. The idea
Why?
of
What? I Yeah, read the next part because I got a one big question. So go ahead.
the idea of tying your real life to your virtual avatar has always fascinated me. You instantly raise the stakes of to the maximum level and force people to fundamentally rethink how they interact with the virtual world and the players inside of it. Pumped up graphics might make a game look more real, but only the threat of serious consequences can make a game feel real to you and every other person in the game.
Okay. Is it possible to have too much money? Right? Because he sold Oculus to Mark Facebook
Yep,
for
yep. 2 billion.
$2 billion. $2
Yep.
billion. And now he's literally trying to do the virtual reality version of the world's most dangerous game or something. What is it possible to have too much money that you definitely have something of a god complex?
Yeah.
Because this feels like a very like just sitting around and taking things too far because you're sitting around in your empty marble box.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what do
believe it.
you like this? Why would you do that? Why would you think, a way to really up the stakes is to put explosives on the headset? And that way, if you're bad at, do you know, I don't play a lot of video games, but I've watched people play video games. Do you remember this? There was some game. It's like a cowboy game, Red Dead Redemption or something like that.
Okay.
That's what it's called. And you have to ride a horse on it. It's a cowboy, it's a Western style game. I watched my roommate accidentally punch his horse while trying to reach for something, just punch the back of his horse so many times that if you do it too many times, the horse is like, man, fuck you, and runs off. Now, if he's reaching for something in a holster and he punches his horse, what am I going to do if he's in there playing this damn game and he dies because he's reaching for a thing and it's his first time playing? It makes no sense. Stop it.
Yeah, yo.
Distribute the funds.
Seriously,
Distribute
B.
the funds.
You got too much money in your life. You're making decisions like this.
This is so.
You know what bothered me about this? Because it's a problem that doesn't exist.
Right.
To your point, I don't play video games much, but it's something that I've never thought while watching my friends who play video games play games. They're not taking it seriously enough. They take every game too serious. Never occurred to me as a thought. Those games are way too intense for a fake thing. I don't need to add these stakes to the game. I've seen straight up fights over Mario Kart, over Mortal Kombat, over Halo, whatever version of the current game it is way too intense. Whether the game was a cartoony looking game or a real life game, people have fought over that shit. There's none of this registers. He's like, I want to tie it more to real life. It's always been too real. Okay. It's never been peaceful. This is video games have already escalated that to the max. Okay. If anything, it's gone past that. Okay. People shouldn't be that angry at child's parties. Okay. It's just wow, how much goes into the video games to me. So this additional stakes wasn't needed. There's some ideas that should stay drug ideas.
Yes.
Like, you
Yeah.
thought of this when you was high? Ha ha, wouldn't it be dope? Yeah, it's dope when you high. When you sober up, leave this shit alone. Don't talk
Yeah,
about this
don't
in
make
press
it.
releases. Don't make it.
Don't make it.
What's wrong with you people? Yo, this should have stayed between you and the 3 people you had mushrooms with. That's the only people that should have heard of this fucking thing. This is insanity. Like, nobody should have heard of this idea but the 3 of y'all. This is crazy. And on top of that, it killed, not that you need other business options, but it's gonna put a hamper in your ability to get investments for your future plans and people thinking this is your next thing. Like, you were out of your mind, my G. You don't put this out there. You know what I mean? This is crazy talk. Yo, oh yeah. What'd you do after you sold that venture to Zuckerberg? Oh, I made a thing for a video game that kills you because people weren't taking video games seriously enough. Get the fuck out of my office, my G. What's wrong with you? You were out of your mind. It's unnecessary, homie. Unnecessary. You could have thought, even make it, but keep it to yourself. Okay? You seen serial killers. There's a certain part of you keep at home in your basement. This could have been your basement toy that nobody knew about but you. Okay? Unnecessary. Unnecessary for you to be sharing this nonsense. Yo, I'm saying, yo, you got too much. Yo, it bothers me, man. You got too much money, too much time, too much freedom. Nobody's checking your thoughts. Okay? You need reality, B.
That's true.
You need
Someone
reality. That is the thing I'm noticing more and more. When you become a billionaire, there should be rules that, like, someone automatically, like, once you reach a certain amount of money, there needs to be a certain group of regular people assigned to you to remind you of regular shit. And they need to have no previous ties to you so that you don't make ignorant decisions. There's like 5 ignorant decisions he made here. Having the idea, making the idea, sharing the idea, getting a press release for the idea. How did all of these things happen? Nobody loves you, Palmer. Somebody in your life would have stopped you. If I make $1 billion and I come up with some stupid idea and I start talking about it around my house, my wife shuts me the fuck up, okay? There's layers to this, okay? If I get past my wife, I say it on my podcast, Shalewa goes, and I know, okay, I gotta stop. And if I get past those 2 layers, thousands of people start texting me, hey, listen, we heard the podcast last week. Pretty funny, but maybe not do that thing you talked about with Shalewa. And I know to stop. I got layers built into my life, okay? Palmer, you went too far, okay?
You did. Maybe just start a podcast instead.
Straight for your health. Good. You need it.
Yeah, that seems to take care of it.
Yo, imagine you get taken out by your own toy invention.
Yeah, which is the next step. That's clearly the next step.
Palmer. In other news, DC Attorney General sues Washington Commanders, team owner, and the NFL. That's right. The DC Attorney General, Carl Racine, I believe, took a new aim at Dan Snyder, the owner of the Washington Commanders, alleging in a lawsuit announced Thursday that he and the NFL deceived DC residents about the league's investigation into sexual harassment and misconduct. Why it matters. Racine said he plans to subpoena Snyder as part of a civil lawsuit that alleges the embattled owner, the franchise, the NFL, and the league commissioner, Roger Goodell, violated a DC consumer protection law to benefit financially. Racine alleged the league's so-called independent investigation, led by lawyer Beth Wilkinson, was riddled with interference from Snyder, and that the public did not receive its findings beyond a 7-sentence statement. The Commanders and Dan Snyder lied to the DC residents about what they knew about a toxic culture of sexual harassment, and then they entered into a secret agreement with the NFL and Commissioner Goodell to keep the truth from DC residents, all in an effort to protect their profits. John Brownlee and Stuart Nash, lawyers for the Commanders, said in the statement that we agree with AG Racine on one thing: the public needs to know the truth. But they insist that they are innocent in this whole situation.
Wait, I'm confused as to what the problem is. Okay. So this guy sued because everyone involved with this football team lied about whether or not there were sexual harassment, like whether whether there was an investigation or what? Like, what do the residents need to know about this, about their investigations?
Yeah, there's a few things. One, a lot of women accuse Snyder and some of the team officials of sexual harassment coming directly from them, creating an environment that cultivated sexual harassment, and there were already other things going on negatively with the Washington franchise at the time, with the name change that they were trying to pivot away from
Mhm.
their previous name, and because of the already negative culture that was coming down on the Washington franchise when this came out. It looks like the NFL and Dan Snyder, who was the owner, kind of had a secret meeting and saying, "Hey, we gotta like calm this news stuff from coming out. So hey, we messed up. You know we messed up, and you're supposed to do an investigation to prove that we messed up. Can we agree that we messed up, but not talk about it publicly? Slap me on the wrist, because otherwise, what ends up happening is a that franchise might tank in value. B, he might be forced to sell the franchise. C, the NFL pays because those fans theoretically could be at some point frustrated and saying, hey, this team is racist, has a sexually harassing owner and culture within the office, and they also suck on the field. Like, why are we buying tickets? You know? So like
Mhm.
there was a lot of reasons to like kind of say, hey, we have to like kind of put a cap on this, otherwise it could negatively affect the brand of football as a whole.
Hmm.
So it looks like the NFL, which should have been in theory on the attorney general side investigating what this guy did wrong and penalizing him, kind of came together with them and said, hey, we got to like put a cap on what comes out from this. And in turn, that kind of means that the DC the attorney general wasn't able to protect the employees in there safely, like they would in any other organization that isn't an NFL team.
Okay. Okay, so by them saying, just kind of, whitewashing whatever the harassment situation was with the team, the NFL kind of made it so that if anyone worked for that team and was harassed, um, or no one could be warned that, "Hey,
Yeah.
you
Yeah, you
shouldn't work
shouldn't
there
work there.
because
This
they
is what's
have
going on.
this they have this history."
Exactly.
By Okay,
And that's what
alright.
you normally would get. Like you would either get the warning as a public person saying, hey, I should probably not work there or know about it going in, or it would
Mhm.
become so public that it would force them to make changes. Right now,
Gotcha.
neither has happened outside of changing their name.
Right, which, I mean, look at how long it took that to happen. Like,
And they
I mean,
picked the trash name.
yeah, and also I and, maybe this is just me being glib about it, but I'm also kind of like, "Well, yes." You know what I mean? Like, the NFL, you know what I mean? Like, there I I get I understand now why that needed to be done, but I also feel like some of that is, especially with this team and the way that they fucking crossed their arms and pouted at having to change their name, that
Hmm.
perhaps they were not going to be very uh forward thinking or, open-minded on many other things. Um I don't know. I uh Athletics have a problem. Athletics has a problem, like, in general. Uh, uh, you know, because I don't wanna be glib and just say, I mean, you should have known going in, but, I don't know, man. Should you have known going in? I don't know. Like, no one, maybe I'm not familiar with, but it's probably because other teams have not. Well, I'm guessing all teams have covered up this kind of shit, is the other thing I'm thinking. Like, why are they being pointed out? Because I'm sure every team has covered up some bullshit. And some teams were not successful because I know of people who, I know of famous, athletes or whatever who are known for being, like, for being sexual harassers or for physically harming people.
Yeah.
Like I know of names, and I don't follow the sport, and I know names, but I also know what a fandom is like,
Mm.
and so it's kind of like, yes, I see all of that. I see the point of it, but I also see where people will be like, I don't give a fuck. That's my team. I want the team to still be here. I want to work for the team. I just love the team.
Yeah.
They changed the name. They must have been, you know what I mean? Like we're working in an area where emotions, I mean, emotions run so high everywhere. And I don't think we really want to think about it in certain factions or whatever, but emotions really run a lot of things. Um, it feels like, right? And
Yeah.
some things no one wants to talk about, but I mean, like, fear, uh, just arrogance, just all of these things, like, will misguided pride, or just so many things that people will just act on that rather than seeing what the issues are laid out in front of them. Just imagine having all of this paperwork and all these things in front of you, and you're just like, but it's my team. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, yeah, but I don't know. It's ugh.
I,
That's a tough break, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, B. Sometimes you gotta like just not wear that jersey. It just is what it is. There's other teams, homie.
Sometimes. Yeah, there are other it's just yeah, it's just sports. There are other teams. I'm sure everyone has some great story about a grandfather holding them on their knee and he had on a Mets jersey or some shit. But like,
It's cute.
okay,
Yeah.
great.
I don't know. You still gotta move on, homie. It just is what it
Yeah,
is.
sometimes you got to move on.
It's a
Sometimes
bit
it's
B.
not enough.
There's other jerseys.
Yeah.
And I'm not loyal enough to any team to like be like, yeah, I know they're sexually harassing people, but like, yo, that's my squad. It's just I can't vibe with that. I'm okay with saying I love the team, and but for now I'm not supporting it. I think that could kind of be a happy medium until
Right.
this is
Yeah.
resolved.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
loyal to
just
any sports team like that.
putting on the blinders of just whatever they do is fine, or they'll work it out, or it's none of our business to, and it's like, but I mean, it still could be, you
Yeah,
know?
I can't vibe with it.
Uh,
You know what I mean? It's too
yeah.
much. So yeah,
I'm
get
not
your
I'm
act
not big
together.
on
Shouts to the DC Attorney General. You know what I mean? Shoot your shot, homie. I don't believe you're gonna win because they still have more money
no,
than
not
you.
at all. Yeah, they have
But
so much more money than you. Like I hope it makes a difference, but I'm sure it will not.
yeah, I am highly confident you are losing this case. But props.
Yeah, yeah, but good for you for at least getting some idiot like me to know that it's here.
Yeah, you doing it. You doing it, homie.
Yeah.
In other news, KFC is sorry for the Crystal Knock chicken promotion in Germany. That's right. KFC has issued an apology after its absent users in Germany a message encouraging them to commemorate Crystal Knock, pardon the pronunciation if I'm off, with fried chicken. The Nazi attacks on Jewish homes, businesses, and synagogues beginning on November 9th in 1938 left at least 91 people dead, and it's broadly considered the start of the Holocaust. The horrific event, also known as the Night of Broken Glass, is marked every year in Germany. KFC said an error in our system was responsible for the message sent on Wednesday, which read, "It's Memorial Day for Crystal Knock. Treat yourself with more tender cheese on your crispy chicken. Now at KFC, KF Cheese." Another message apologizing for the mistake was sent out about an hour later, according to the local media reports. In a statement to Newsweek, KFC explained that the automated push notification was linked to calendars that included national observances. The company added an apology for the unplanned, insensitive, and unacceptable message.
But who wrote the message?
Yeah,
The machines? What happened? Who
that's what
did
they're
that?
saying. Yeah, they had an automated message linked to a calendar. So every
Right.
time one of those calendar dates popped up, it would send a message out. And that calendar, unfortunately, besides holidays, also had dates of observance on it. So it would
Mhm.
send out a giddy message on a day that's more about like paying respects. Um,
Okay. So then that means that this message was just already written and just on whatever day it is, it sent out something. So this message could have easily said, "It's Valentine's Day. Treat yourself with more tender cheese on your crispy chicken now at
yeah,
KF Cheese." It just grabbed whatever the
the
day was
holiday
marked
was.
as.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And
Why are you linking it to your Google Calendar?
straight up, yo. Like, yo, real talk. And the thing is, like, I'm seeing this and like, man, like sometimes you can't listen to the 25-year-old in your office. Like
Mm-mm.
I know a kid was telling you about how like, yo,
You
this will
can
save us
link
time.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just link
link
everything. Yo,
don't link everything.
the old school person that like types it out, this is why. Okay. This is why. You need editors, my G. You need to
Yep.
double check. I got friends that work in social media and like I've seen what a company can do to make sure when it's running well. And there's like 5 people that like every company she's been at, like when she wants to send something out and she's like the head of the department, she still
Right.
has like 5 people that she talks to before. Hey, is this covering anything negative? Is this taboo? Does this work? Is this the right message? Is this the right tone? Is this the right voice? Like there's people in place that like should be verifying this.
Mhm.
And in turn, I've never recalled her hitting me up saying, "Yeah, I got fired today because
'Cause I
I
sent
let
out
one slip out." You know, so yeah, she like in turn, you're right. Her companies might have been like 5 minutes late to post, but they never had controversy with their Twitter
right.
accounts. This is
Yeah,
wild out of
yeah.
pocket because you tried to save time.
Don't connect at all, everybody.
Yeah,
Please don't. Especially if any part of it is front facing, is public facing. If there's any part of your social media that's that's public facing,
yeah,
that like yeah, don't link it all up. Don't add it to the you decide. You make the
exactly.
decision. Don't let these robots make that decision for you.
Straight up.
Come
You know
on,
how
free
stupid you
thought.
sound right now? You blaming a calendar? Oh nah,
Yeah.
it was the computer and the calendar. No, be you set that up.
Yeah, don't do that. You should, especially on like if you know you have days like this.
Yeah, yo.
Like
Know
that's
your
a
history.
serious day. Know your I can't imagine. Like, come on.
Oh,
What? Yo, imagine if this happened on like Juneteenth. Someone actually would think that this was planned for Juneteenth, to be honest with you. But
100%.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like just an act. Don't do it. Stop linking everything, especially since
Abby.
it's all going to be owned by one idiot anyway. It's like,
Out
don't
of
link
pocket.
it.
Out of pocket,
Mm-mm.
KFC. No
Yeah.
better. Also,
Also,
I didn't know
ick.
that. That's the day that kicks off.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's true. I had no idea. I did
yeah.
not know because it's not on my calendar.
Word. You know what I mean? Wouldn't have made
So
that mistake.
nope, not at all. I mean, I definitely would have fucked up a Juneteenth thing, but I would not have made this one. Seems
Oh
far more
man.
serious.
Oh man. Uh,
Yikes. Oh, and KFC on top of that. Ugh.
uh, there are certain mistakes that I feel like should be an insta fire. That should have been an insta fire. Like I don't want to like give you a second chance.
Mhm.
You know, even if like you've been aces, just because like if you do a second thing wrong, then I got to tell my boss that I'm firing you for the second thing, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, ain't that the person that sent out the racist chicken tweet or
Right.
the
Right.
insensitive chicken tweet or the you know what I mean? I can't have both of those be on me. You know, I'd rather just fire
Mhm.
you that one time. You become like office lore. Yeah, you know, you used to have a social media person that sent out some wild inappropriate tweet about chicken. Crazy, and that's it. Nobody should know your face. You should just
No.
be gone. You should be just a fan, a memory, a ghost of KFC's past. You know, that's what you should be.
Oh my goodness. I
Finally,
also
what
I
happened?
also very quickly checked to see if chicken and cheese was kosher. Because I know meat and cheese is not, and I was just like, "Yo, did they fuck up a lot of things?" That may have been okay, but still, there's still some wiggle room on it. But either way, get a person. Don't automate it. Is my point. Yikes.
KFC is not kosher, actually.
Oh, no, I'm sure it's not. There's
Do they make kosher
no
KFC in Germany?
I don't know. I
Right?
don't
Because I know,
know.
like, they do different things in different countries.
Right.
Nah, it's just telling me KFC is not kosher, B.
Yeah, no, no, I can't see how it would be. But I mean, you certainly don't wanna flaunt that. Like, on that particular day, it seems like
That's
that's
fair.
not the day. Yeah, it's not the day to promote cheese and meat, but it's chicken, so it's but still, yikes. Yikes all around.
Oh, man.
Ah,
Finally, slavery, involuntary servitude rejected by 4 state voters. Voters in 4 states have approved ballot measures that will change their state constitutions to prohibit slavery and involuntary servitude as punishment for a crime, while those in a 5th state rejected a flawed version of the question. The measures
okay,
approved Tuesday could curtail the use of prison labor in Alabama, Oregon, Tennessee, and Vermont. In Louisiana, a former slaveholding state and one of a handful that sentences convicted felons to hard labor, lawmakers trying to get rid of forced prison labor ended up torpedoing their own measure. They told voters to reject it because the ballot measures included ambiguous language that did not prohibit involuntary servitude in the criminal justice system. Despite the setback in Louisiana, Max Parthas, campaigns coordinator of the Abolish Slavery National Network, called Tuesday's vote an anti-slavery measures historic. I believe that the people would choose freedom over slavery if we gave them the opportunity by taking
I
the slavery
can't.
question away from the legislators and putting it into the hands of the people, and they proved us right. The 4
Oh, so
approved.
taking it away from the big house and putting it come on, I can't.
What? How
That
is this
this is
today,
even a
Sha?
thing. I know. This is even today. And that 5 states were trying, and the 5th one was like, "No, don't because the language isn't precise enough," is so insane because imagine just being like, "Well, we know what you mean, but that's not exactly what was said here. Therefore, we're just going to keep on doing." Like,
What?
what? Yeah, that kind of shit is so bleh. It's so troublesome. But that you and that I'm surprised that that it even went through on the 4 that it did. But so the states where it was okayed was Alabama, Oregon, Tennessee, and Vermont. Do you hear that? That's all. That's like 2 of them. I'm sure y'all were like, yeah, sure. But 2 of them, I bet you were like, wait, what?
Word. They got some
Like
sleepers in there.
Vermont? Yeah, Vermont. I didn't even know they had black people in there because years ago I read an article, granted it was in Ebony magazine, that Vermont was the whitest state.
Yeah.
And I have not been, but I mean, maybe they've changed a few things. But, and
Yo.
you got to be on the lookout for it, but I knew Oregon had some issues. Oregon, I think was it Oregon that was like the whole reason it was set up was so that white people would have a place to go away from black people. So like no black people were allowed. Was that I think that was the state of Oregon?
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the Pacific Northwest, God bless all of our listeners out there, but y'all know it's yikes up there. It's
Yo.
very yeah, yeah. I think that was the state. There was one state where in there like yeah, in their write up of however they wanted, whatever it was, their constitution, they were just like, yeah, we're trying to keep it all white up here. We don't want no black people.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vermont is
So,
94% white.
okay.
And it is this total state population as of 2021 is 645,000. Um,
Really?
yeah, so it's a small state. Shy, if you would like,
Mm.
uh, it's gonna be a hard pivot. I don't know. Sometimes you gotta accept, like, yeah, you know what? This is a challenge.
Yeah, I guess you can't like really say,
Yeah.
if you would
Yeah, if
like to
you like
end
for nonsense
slavery.
like this to not be a pivot I have to make, okay?
Yeah.
All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't appreciate the level of difficulty it is to pivot
Out of a
from
slavery story.
go from slavery to jokes. It's hard, baby. Okay, we professionals, but we know like there's a range to what we can do.
Mm,
5 stars, you see the vision, and more importantly, you see the effort. Okay.
yes.
If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shouts to Demora Scotland, Stephanie Gale, and Lori McDaniel. All of y'all for sharing dope stuff this week. Appreciate y'all. With all that said, I am the admittedly far less stressed now that I thought of it out. Gastor Almonte. Always ruined for me, but sincerely, I don't think she knew where I was going with that one.
No idea. No idea.
This has been an episode of The War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.